Evening or afternoon to everybody. Hi, and welcome to OP Digital Blueprint. As you can see, I'm rather colder than Red. I've got 3 layers on. He's in wearing a t-shirt. It must be nice and warm where he is. We unfortunately, Collins is working today, and Gina Lever is rather busy. So it's just the two of us, and we've worked out that was George Benson. Without further ado, over to Red. I'm sure he's got something to tell us.
I always got something to tell you, and I'm going to stick with what I said and went over on my live today, which was seeing our CEO twice over the weekend on O'Minnows, and also he popped in on Sunday, didn't he, to see our beloved brother, Marty DeGarmo. He was there as well. And I went over a few things today, and thank you very much, Gabrielle Moore, for giving me the notes from that. Really helped me, saves me trawling through the videos to write my own notes. But there was some, in my opinion anyway, there was some little nuggets in there that we should really focus on that I thought were very important. On the start off at the end, really, with what he said was, and that was to hang on in there. I thought that was quite prolific. I thought it was good for him to say, because he said, hang on in there. We are only going to succeed bringing you good stuff. Why do I feel that is quite an important sentence, and why am I bringing it to the table here? Really, I thought it was a nod of appreciation to all of us. I think for those that have been engaged on the journey of ONPASSIVE for however long you've been engaged with it, I really felt it was a bit of a what's the word I'm looking for? An appreciation of the people who have stuck in with ONPASSIVE to say, just hang on in there, guys. I've got this. You won't be disappointed, and everything's going to be all right. Now, obviously, that was at the end of what he had to say, but he certainly brought to the table a good insight of what's been going on behind the scenes. Obviously, no names were named, no accusations or anything like that were told. But one thing was for sure, and that is he's been basically fighting a lot of fronts as far as ONPASSIVE is concerned. And mainly, this is all due to what we are trying to achieve, what the whole business model is all about, what ONPASSIVE is designed to do for humanity, and obviously the individuals who are using the products and services. And he was making no bones about the amount of pressure and people trying to derail what he's been doing. And this is from multiple sources. It's from multiple fronts, not one individual or one company. But one thing was sure for what he was saying, and that was the wealthy like to keep hold of their wealth. It goes to a very small proportion of the world. The very, very wealthy like to keep their mitts on their money. They don't like their gravy trains to be derailed. They like to the status quo as it is. They control, have the power. They make the decisions, all because they have that money behind them. You only have to look anywhere in the world, in any country in the world, and you can instantly recognize the powerful, wealthy people within that country, whichever country you're from. When a company like ONPASSIVE comes along and they are bringing something as a level playing field that's fair to everyone, that people are allowed to make money in, that the top percent aren't the ones that are going to get rich, which means the top percent aren't the ones that are controlling or in power, they don't like that. And this is what basically our CEO was saying on Marty's birthday webinar, that he's been getting an awful lot of people pushing against him, whether that be founders or whether it be individuals or whether it be governments or other businesses. They are all trying their best not to allow ONPASSIVE to happen. Now, here's the good thing. He was adamant in what he was saying, that nothing is going to stop them. Okay. He also said that in the internet environment at the moment, it's a lot easier to do things that are beneficial to people. With the importance of AI now, specifically at the moment, it's very much a buzz thing with what's been happening in the news. AI really is the buzz thing. We've been involved with it now for a long time, and we know that our products and services have that integrated. But the bottom line is, he was saying that he is here to stay. He's not leaving. We're not going anywhere. We are going to make this through, and you guys are going to be very, very pleased, happy, and surprised with what we are going to give you. And this is what I really liked about what happened on Sunday, was that his commitment to us. You know, he was basically laying it bare to say, I'm committed still to the cause of ONPASSIVE, to make it work, to bring it back so that we can get going again. I'm not giving up on you, regardless of what I'm getting thrown at me. I'm here to stay, and you are going to be very happy with the outcome. Back to you, Andy.
Thanks, Red. I think this is very interesting about having, you know, outside influences trying to derail everything before it really, you know, gets going. And quite honestly, you know, this is, in my view, when you've got something like ONPASSIVE, they know what's coming. And because they know what's coming, it frightens them. Because as you quite rightly point out, this money flow goes to the ones in with the power. And when you have you could almost call him an upstart, you know, wanting to muscle in on that, and then all of a sudden creating something that is better than and better value than, then of course they're not going to like it. What annoys me is the fact that we have a free society, or one would hope we've got a free society, for everybody to have the same opportunity. We don't, because of situations like this, and that annoys me. So when you've got a man like Ashmi Farah who turns around and says, no matter what, guys, I'm going to pull through, I'm going to get this done come hell or high water, you know, everybody, and I mean absolutely everybody that's already with us, should be backing this man 100%. Come, let's go. The collective pushes it forward. The collective mind, what you think and believe a man can achieve, you know. So if we all believe, then nothing can stop him. But like I said, this international business espionage, you could call it, is sickening to the core. Anyway, any other points you'd like to raise, Red?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, normally in business circles, there's normally two scenarios that always happen with startups or new businesses, especially within the internet space. And this is widely known, and you can name so many different companies that have actioned these two scenarios. And the first one is big businesses buy the startup, right? You have a look at Bing, for instance. For Microsoft, they bought that search engine because, quite frankly, it was cheaper to buy them than it was to build their own. And you can name a lot of other companies that do exactly this. They find them not a threat per se, but certainly something that they can integrate and use within their own business. So instead of doing the other scenario, which is breaking them, let's just buy them. Because at the end of the day, you know that old saying, everything's for sale for a price. Well, not in our case. How many times have we been told by our CEO that ONPASSIVE will never be for sale and it will never be floated on the stock exchange, which means it's not going to be a limited company and have shareholders and all the rest of it. It's privately owned. So what's the other scenario? Exactly what is happening right now to ONPASSIVE. You have multiple scenarios and multiple fronts of people trying to break ONPASSIVE because they've probably tried to buy it in one way, shape, or form, or to integrate it into their own business rather than having the ONPASSIVE as a standalone. So that didn't work, did it? So what's the other alternative? I know, let's do everything within our power with the money resources that we have to break ONPASSIVE so that it is no more and it is not a threat. One other interesting point that Ash did bring out on Marty's was about wealth. He was saying there's no problem about money, right? The wealth in the world is there already. You don't have to reinvent more money because there's literally trillions of it floating around all over the place. The problem is who has the control of that wealth. And that is the unfair part of our society across the globe. That is something that I know that our CEO wants to change. And the ONPASSIVE platform will go a long way to change how that distribution of money and wealth is going to be done through the platform of ONPASSIVE. These sort of things, they don't like, do they? I mean, we can talk about other businesses and scenarios within the world. Look at cryptocurrency, for instance. Look at the amount of pushing against it has over the 11 years it's been in circulation as Bitcoin. But guess what? All of a sudden, it's starting to become a much more acceptable currency. Why? Because governments are falling over themselves to get a slice of that cake, because more and more users are involving themselves with digital currencies that they are thinking, holy, we better get involved with this and have a little bit of control of it. Otherwise, we're going to lose it altogether. So things are moving. This is why I believe with ONPASSIVE that the longer we go, the more that we are moving forward, which we are, the better off we're going to be as far as negotiations or integrations and all these sort of things are going to be in the future, because we're not just green round the edges anymore, are we? You know, we've been here 6.5 years. We know a trick or two. Anything that's happened probably has. Anything that can happen probably already has. So we are certainly moving forward with a sense of knowledge, certainly a sense of power, because we know we're onto a good thing here. People wouldn't go out of their way to do what they're doing if what we were doing was worthless to them, was rubbish. It's not going to have an effect on them. They're doing it because they feel that it's a threat, plain and simple. They want their gravy train to carry on. They don't like the apple cart being spilt, and they will do everything within their power to try and stop it. We know we've got a good thing going here with ONPASSIVE. Our CEO certainly knows we've got a good thing going, because it's the only logical explanation to what is happening to him and the company from all walks of areas. So it stands to reason that the threat is because of what we are and what is going to be happening. Back to you, Andy.
Thanks, Red. I think Ash has already mentioned the fact that, you know, you could eradicate homelessness and hunger with 45 billion. Now, Elon Musk has got what
400 and something.
250 or 400 and something billion. Warren Buffett,
430, I think, billion now. I think.
And there are people in the background with trillions that never want to come forward. The system has been in
What's the
place.
matter with you?
Sorry, say again.
The Rothschilds? No, I can't believe it.
Yeah, exactly. There are several families that are have changed the system over the years, and people have started to wake up to it, which is good. But those in control, as you quite rightly pointed out, don't like what's going on and will do everything in their power to stop this. The truth has to come out at some point. So annoying, but we're privileged to be in this position, and we're privileged to be part of this journey with Ash, especially because it is a private company. There are no shareholders. It's not something he will ever sell. The idea and organization of the original company, excuse me, was in order to be able to help others. Exactly that, to help others, and to make sure that everyone has a level playing field. And I'm happy to wait a little longer if that's the case, because look, guys, this is the best thing I've seen since sliced bread. Yes, there are other companies bringing out other platforms, but at the end of the day, if you've got one single sign-on with 50 odd products underneath, all value for money, we know where they're going to go. So on that note, we're still here. Please note, Red does his lives on a regular basis. When what dates are they? Or they're about 4 o'clock
Monday
UK
through
time.
Friday.
Monday
through Friday, which is 11 a.m. for Eastern Standard Time at the moment, and 4 p.m. for us here in the UK.
Okay, cool. And obviously, we also have Heroes on a Sunday, so please join us on a Sunday. If you were on Sunday, you would have seen it was Marty's birthday, and there was great celebration, so that was good. Any final comment, Red, before we leave?
No, the only final comment I've got was seeing our CEO Ashmi Farah certainly gives us all a lift. And I thought it was very timely, important to see him over the weekend. We like seeing the guy, plain and simple. It makes us feel good. It gives us a boost. It gives us a lift. It makes us more confident about the process that's happening at the moment, because we see him and we know that he hasn't gone anywhere. If I was a wishing man, I'd like to see more of the guy. But he's got his reasons for where he is and what he's doing. He basically doesn't trust anybody. He likes to make the mix of uncertainty and guessing. I think that is extremely important at the moment. There's been an awful lot of leakages within the business prior. And what he wants to do is get 2.0 going with a bang, and the only way you can do that is to shock people, and the only way you can shock people is to keep it as secret as possible, so that when you go live with the next phase of ONPASSIVE, it really is going to grab the attention, and that is exactly what he's after. He's not hiding per se. He's been very tactful, or tactical, should I say, about what he is doing. Over to you.
Absolutely. I think mistakes were made initially by releasing certain information, and we know that a number of founders in various different locations spread different thoughts to what he actually wanted to convey. So there was a lot of Chinese whispers, and it didn't go down very well. So yes, this makes a hell of a difference. Why tell everybody what you're doing? Let's get it done and then release it. And as you say,
I'll give you a perfect example, right? The iPhone. We all know it. We all love it or hate it. Doesn't really matter. The only time you ever see the next generation iPhone is when when they have that big unveiling once a year or whenever it is. There's no sneaky previews, is there, or anything like that. That's the only time you ever see it. And the reason it's done like that is by design. It grabs attention. It makes people desire for it more because they want to be one of the first to have it. Very good marketing tactics. They've always done the same. It works for them. And I am sure that our CEO looks at stuff like this and notices, yeah, that's how to do it. We don't have to give any excuses, reasons why it didn't work 5 million times before we got to this stage. It's nobody else's business. What is important as this new iPhone version, whatever it is absolutely singing and dancing. It does what it says on the tin and everybody's going to love it. That's what they're after. How many times they failed getting to that stage from a customer's point of view doesn't matter. And I think this is lessons that have been learned from our CEO. And it was all done for the right reasons in his mind. He wanted to keep us engaged. He wanted to keep us up to date with what was going on. But as Andy's definitely said correctly, too many people took that information, twisted, turned it, made it into something else. Chinese whispers got the best of it. And by the end of the regurgitation down the line, it was completely different. Didn't do the companies any favors whatsoever. Back to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, as I said, join us. Keep listening to Red's Lives. Join us on next Tuesday. I'm sure we'll be here, and obviously for Heroes on a Sunday. In the meantime, enjoy your week, guys. Thanks for joining us.